This show is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Visit betterhelp.com/Padilla because sometimes existing is exhausting.
Oh! I can't do it! Okay. Oh! My name's Anthony Padilla, and I spent today with NAIA the Wolf Girl to uncover the truth about why somebody would so deeply feel that on all levels except physical, they're a wolf. How did the bullying and abuse that she faced as a child influence her new ventures into hunting predators and human traffickers? And we will address the infamous howling moment from the last time NAIA and I spoke. Hello, NAIA!
Hi.
I feel like we should address a very specific clip from the last time you were on here 3 years ago.
Okay.
What's the problem?
Yeah, and what are you doing when you're out there?
So we're running around. We do kind of play as wolves.
Like on all fours?
At times, yes. Sometimes
This is embarrassing.
two-legged, making...
Do you see why that clip went... It went kind of viral.
Yeah.
Do you see why that clip went
Because
viral?
it's a little cringy.
It's a little bizarre, but also so many people were like, holy shit, that is actually extremely impressive.
I've improved over the
Do you
years.
want to show us how different it is now? Nice. That emotion was so raw. Like you could see it in your eyes, like you were tearing up. It was such a release. Do you still get those feelings?
Still definitely get those feelings at times,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like it's kind of more integrated into my everyday life than it was back when I did my original.
Was it you that felt like you wanted to make your whole life about being a wolf, or was it the attention that you received from the outside about being a wolf that made you feel like that was the only or most important part about you?
I think it was a little bit of both. Back when I had my low self-esteem, that was kind of something that I kind of centered towards was my wolf identity. So I kind of feel like I over-focused or hyper-focused on that part of my life.
There were some negative comments, and some of them were like, oh, that's easy, anyone could do that. But I actually think it's very hard. How many hours of howling practice have you put in?
I have no idea.
I imagine today that maybe I would give it a shot. Maybe I would try to do a howl. You cool
Yeah.
to give it a try?
Yeah.
Okay. So you just try, even getting into the mindset of doing it, I can't help but like, there's like a side of me that's embarrassed and wants to smile, but okay. I'm gonna try to take it as seriously as you do. Oh! I can't do it! Okay. Oh!
It was like a wolf in a boy band.
So it was super cute and mega popular. How would you rate my wolf howl?
It's okay.
Okay, work in progress.
Work in progress.
Okay. The last video that we made, I spent a day with other kin, has over 5 million views. How did that video impact you?
It's been more positive because I actually got to talk. I actually got to explain what I'm about instead of just look at this weirdo, look what she's doing. But I feel like that's where the turning point of not just all negative kind of came from. People have talked to me, they've asked me questions, they've been a lot more open-minded about it. So I was on Fox News recently.
Fox News, a very liberal news station.
Very
that loves
accepting.
that.
And it went well.
How is the way that people write about you on the internet changed?
It was recently in the New York Post. And I really liked that article because they brought attention to the fact, okay, she's an online investigator. There's
Right.
more dimension to her.
Right.
She's not just somebody who goes out and wolfs out in the woods.
How much does your identification as a wolf affect your day-to-day life now versus back in our last interview?
So I feel it still affects my life, but I feel it comes out in a more like socially acceptable way. When I'm investigating a predator online, I feel like a wolf kind of hunting their prey. I can relate things that are not as strange, I guess, back to that wolf identity. And I'm not gonna lie, you know, I do these appearances, I howl. When I'm with close friends, sometimes we'll still do fun wolf things together. But it's not the central, everything about NAIA has to be wolf as much as it used to be.
Do you still consider yourself a British Columbia black wolf with amber eyes?
Yes.
How'd you come up with that very
So
specific wolf?
when I would have dreams of myself as a wolf, that's kind of what I looked like, and I had to actually go back and look up things on Google.
Last time you were on here, you had
Oh,
the ears,
God.
you had the tail, you had the collar.
I'll wear the
You're all stripped
collar
down now.
once in a while. I don't really have the ears and tail anymore. Unfortunately, they got damaged, and I haven't bothered to replace them.
Do you still go out in the woods and bark and howl and growl?
Not really. I don't really have time. And I know that's a funny way to put it, but
Yeah.
I'm busy with my life.
Too busy to run around barking, growling, and howling?
Yeah.
Where are your priorities?
That used to be something that was an everyday, focus was my wolf identity. And, I've gone days without talking really about the whole wolf identity. I go days where I'm not talking about what I do for work. What I do for work is a part of me, but it's not all of me.
Right.
And I think kind of integrating that with the rest of who I am has been a good thing for me.
What was your childhood like?
I feel like I struggled a lot in my childhood to find my identity. I just never fit in with people. And looking back at it, being trans, I think, had a lot to do with it. I didn't fit in with boys my age, for friend groups. I didn't like traditionally masculine activities, and I kind of felt like the outcast. And a lot of it, again, I didn't know what trans was as a kid, so I didn't really know what I was going through. Growing up in a southern conservative town and people who were not that accepting of different identities made me a little hesitant to explore things. In elementary school, I actually had a good number of friends. It was really in high school when the fact I was different started affecting me socially.
When did you first start allowing people to see that wolf side of you?
Probably 13 or 14. So it kind
right
of
into
makes
high
sense.
school, what was the bullying like?
People barking at me as I walk by. People just kind of, oh my God, you think you're a wolf? What a weirdo. It started out just kind of your normal sort of, yeah, that's weird. And then it got a lot more personal. They started using my dead name because they knew that really bothered me. I was very good at defending myself physically, so that was not a huge issue. But verbally and emotionally, it was very bad.
Did people try to do physical things?
Once.
What happened?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, don't talk about that.
It happened once, and I will tell you it never happened again after that.
Lots of violence?
Wolf.
Did you go full wolf?
I'm joking. I defended myself, and it didn't happen again. And again, what bothered me is they would push just the right buttons. They wanted to see if they could push me to that level. They never could. They got me to feel bad about myself. They caused my self-esteem to get pretty bad. But they never kind of really got what they wanted.
Which was a physical
I mean, I'd tell them, screw you too,
Yeah.
And I kind of regret saying things back because I feel like that was kind of like a consolation prize to them. It's like, well, I couldn't get her to, wolf out on me, but I got her to yell at me, and that's pretty funny. And, that's how kids are.
Can you recall the moment that you realized that you are a wolf?
And this episode is sponsored by Surfshark VPN, an app and browser extension that lets you place your computer or your phone anywhere in the world and allows you to access the internet as if you were there instead. But why would you do that? Why would you want that? Let's say you get the sudden primal urge to indulge in an episode of Spice and Wolf. So you open up Netflix and it's not streaming in your country. Now you can just change your location to South Korea and more wolf anime than you've ever wanted, ready for you to consume. And not to mention, Surfshark also adds an extra layer of security when you're online to keep all your passwords and your very important data safe on an unlimited number of devices with just one account. Trust me, you're gonna want this. So use code Anthony to get 83% off and 3 months for free. And they're throwing in their antivirus software for free this month of June, so hurry the fuck up. And they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. So the only risk is that you end up liking it too much and that you can't live without it. Use my code Anthony at the link below or scan the QR code on the screen to go support them, support us, and surf the web safely from anywhere. Now, back to the world of NAIA the Wolf Girl.
Can you recall the moment that you realized that you are a wolf?
Age 10, I was watching Wolf's Rain, and somehow it was just an instant association. I'm like, this is me somehow. And then I had to research into wolves, and that brought me down the rabbit hole.
Did you try talking yourself out of it?
Oh yeah, you're not a wolf. Look at you.
I feel like I should be looking down and seeing paws.
Right.
Is that really what would go through your head when you look at your body after that?
Yeah, there's been times where I've been looking at myself and I'm like, why am I in this body? But then, it kind of does click because of what I do, my job, what I'm passionate about. Being in a human body does have its perks, but there are times where I'm like, I should really be on all fours right now.
Have there been points in your life where you wished that you were born a wolf?
Oh, yeah. Definitely, there's been points. Mainly when I was younger, I kind of had this, as all kids do, this is part of me, I should be in the correct body, etc., etc. I don't have it as much with my wolf identity anymore. I feel I'm in the wrong body still, don't get me wrong, but a lot of that is more due to my gender dysphoria. When it comes to my wolf identity, I've kind of accepted that that's more of an internal thing that's not necessarily meant to be fully externalized.
Sporkle Blue Moon wants to know how you feel about wolf-themed neopronouns.
No.
I
I am not wolf self. I am she, her.
Wait, can you explain what a wolf-themed neopronoun is?
Neopronoun is when instead of like she, her, he, him, they, them. I'm not going to use the term made up, but it's like a word pronoun, like wolf, wolf self instead of she, her, and it just doesn't fit me. If you like neopronouns, like I'm not going to bash it. I will respect your pronouns. I just have a hard time seeing how wolf itself is a gender because wolves have genders, if that makes any sense.
So you see yourself as
A female wolf.
a female wolf.
Yeah. Or you could just say I'm a bitch.
That's what you are! I could just say, I spent today with NAIA the bitch. Should I rename the video? A lot of people have a lot of difficulty understanding how you could feel like a wolf. Do you think that you have that same kind of feeling the way that you see people who identify with a wolf gender?
Probably.
Even you, who many perceive as weird, could feel that other things are
Yeah.
weird within this realm. Does that make you understand more the way that people perceive you?
Kind of, yeah. And I'm not judgmental. I think things are different, but it's not going to affect how I interact with them. I'm like, I've never seen that in the otherkin community, but okay. It was just a different experience.
At any point, did you reject your human body?
Oh, yes. I was an edgy teenager, and you don't understand. I'm an effing wolf.
Fuck you, Mom, I'm a wolf!
Yup. Teenage NAIA had some interesting interaction with her parents.
How was your experience being trans compared to your experience as being a wolf?
Much harder. More social, societal implications. A lot of the hatred for being trans is still out there. I had a hard time getting access to hormones when I still lived in Georgia.
How did coming out as trans compare to coming out as a wolf?
It was a much bigger ordeal. When I was a wolf, I'm just like, hey everyone, I'm a wolf. It was more of I didn't give any shits about it. I didn't care. Whereas when I came out as trans, it was like, oh, I have to come out as trans. That's going to be fun. Which family members might reject me? Which friends am I going to lose for the, it was a lot more of a scary moment.
Some people might say, how can you be trans if you're also a wolf? Like, it's
They're
human.
different
and
concepts.
They can live together harmoniously.
Yeah, so being trans is my gender identity. Being wolf is more of a spiritual thing. I don't feel like I have to physically be a wolf. I feel as a trans woman, I am physically born incorrectly. There's a defect with how I was born that needs to be corrected.
Do both of those aspects affect you similarly?
I think it's a very different experience, and I get where the tendency to liken them is. I get you're transgender, what about trans species? And, I don't feel trans species. I don't feel my wolf identity rises to that level of discomfort, disintegration, and dysphoria that I have with being trans. It just does not rise to that occasion.
Have you made any transitional changes to your body since last time you were on?
I've been on hormones for a couple of years now. Everybody could probably see the most obvious
You
thing.
keep glancing down at your chest and you're like,
I'm just like, hello.
hello, I got two of these now.
But there's subtle changes too. My skin is much softer. I don't grow as much body hair or as quickly. My facial features, people have known me for a while, have told me my facial features are
It does look a little bit more
softer.
feminine.
Yeah. So it's caused a lot of little changes that kind of make me happy.
A lot of people, when they hear NAIA the wolf girl, they imagine a girl that's furry You're telling me that you are appreciative that you're losing some of your facial
definitely.
hair, your stubble, your
Definitely.
body hair. Does that seem like it kind of contradicts the wolf side
Not
of you?
necessarily. Again, the wolf isn't something I really need to accentuate physically. And I am getting electrolysis. That's another procedure. I'm
To
planning on
remove the
getting
facial
to
hair.
Permanently remove, so I don't have to shave it and, put makeup on every day.
Oh, there's some fur here.
Yeah.
I like this fur.
No,
it's
it's
wolf-like.
like, let's get rid of this right now. So I've shaved 3 times in a day before. If I see a little bit that nobody's even gonna notice or that would not look out of place on a cisgendered woman, I'm still gonna want it gone. That's just something that's always been a cause of dysphoria.
Can you get into any of the common struggles, the most common areas that are a struggle for you?
I call them the transgender sexual assaulteers.
The TSA?
Yes.
That's what it stands for.
Every time I go through their body scanners right now, they have to select if you're male or female. And if you're a transgender person pre-surgery, you can just imagine that no matter which button they push, there's going to be an anomaly on that scanner. And they ask me this dumb question. So do you want to be screened as a male or a female today? Which part of my body do I want you to violate today?
Because it'll show up red on certain parts of your body.
So if they hit that a male, obviously my chest area is gonna flag on the alarm. If they hit that female, other areas are gonna flag on the alarm.
And then that gives them not just permission, but they are required to pat down those areas that showed red.
And it's disgusting. It's discriminatory and it's humiliating.
So in a sense, they're asking you, which area do you want me to touch on you right now?
I feel violated every time I fly, and it's like this should have been a joyous occasion. Coming here to do this interview, we've talked before, I enjoy doing these. I brought my partner with me. It's supposed to be this nice, happy thing, and I gotta go get groped by the TSA before I can go do that. It's not the gender thing. It's not the declare your gender that people are getting upset about. It's you're getting patted down because you're trans, essentially. And whether they're intending to or not, that's the result. That's what the body scanners are seeing, and that's what's happening.
You are seen as a mysterious figure online. Do people know what your day job is? Because that's what people are like, what the f does NAIA do? You say, I'm a private investigator. I catch people. I chase people down. But you don't say specifically what you do.
I can talk about one of the things I do.
And of course, thank you so much to Purple for continuing to sponsor and support this series. Purple mattresses provide impeccable comfort while you sleep by using what they call the grid, this revolutionary ventilated design that somehow allows air to flow through it so you can stay cool without flipping your pillow over halfway through the night, which is awesome. Let me tell you, with the Purple pillow, the grid supports and cushions my head in a way I can't even put words to how good it feels. Honestly, I look forward to falling asleep in my bed every single night, and that had never happened before, not at a single point in my life. Thank you so much. And right now, you'll support this series and get 10% off any order of $200 or more by going to purple.com/Padilla and using promo code Padilla. Again, that's purple.com/Padilla, and with promo code Padilla, you'll get 10% off any order of $200 or more. Terms apply, of course, so hurry the f up. Now, back to the world of NAIA the Wolf Girl.
I'm the director of cyber operations for a nonprofit, and we go after human traffickers, child predators, and people who harm animals. That's one of the big things that I do. I'm very passionate about it, but I've led to multiple convictions. And
So you have caught people that are guilty of these crimes?
Absolutely.
Can you talk about how you go about catching these people?
No.
Damn it!
I can give a very high-level overview. If you've ever seen the infamous To Catch a Predator, we do have accounts that we operate that are under false identities. See, if I give too much methods, I'm also potentially giving methods to circumvent, so I don't really want to get into...
Yeah. All you will say is that you do catch predators.
Yes, absolutely.
And they don't know how. They won't know what's coming.
Nope.
But you're going to get them.
The shadow wolves are coming for you.
Can you get into some of the emotions that are brought up in doing this line of work, especially knowing that it does connect to that wolf side?
I'm not very proud of myself usually, but of the one aspect of my life that I have pride in is that I do this. So there's a lot of positivity, especially when you get, who you're trying to get. There's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of seeing stuff you never want to see again.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of having to talk to people in certain ways that's quite disgusting. Nobody likes the thoughts of innocents getting hurt. It gets very frustrating if we're working on something. You know this person is out there. They're hurting people. They're hurting animals. And you can't get this jumped on. You can't get movement on this case to where they are going to be prevented from causing harm for a whole 2 years. It can be soul crushing.
Do you feel like your innocence when you were younger was
Definitely.
damaged?
Definitely.
How do you feel like your experiences as a child, feeling those feelings, have motivated you or pushed you in this line of work?
I think it gave me a lot more empathy than I would have for people who are victims of such abuse. I don't focus as much on the victim as I do on the offender, because being someone who has been victimized, I don't really want to be close to that aspect of it.
Because if you put yourself in their shoes,
it'll get me kind of going.
So you try not to put yourself in the shoes of the victim too
Yes.
much because it feels too much like close to you?
Yeah.
I can see how this line of work would be the most fulfilling
Indeed.
thing for you to do, right? You get to tackle some of those tough times that you had when you were younger, and now you get to face them from an authoritative point of view. You're now in control, you're in charge. You get to handle the situation. You get to do all the things that you couldn't do when you were younger.
Right. I much enjoy catching my prey.
What are your goals for the future?
I want to do investigations of like child predators and zoo sadists full time. Right now, it's something I do on the side. I'm very passionate about it, but it doesn't pay the bills yet.
I mean, how far do you want to take that?
Work with different police departments, work with different agencies kind of as a consultant on those things. I'd love to do that.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about you?
That I literally think I'm a wolf.
I mean, you are known as NAIA the Wolf Girl. So clear it up right now, just in the very most basic terms.
On all levels, and here's the important part, except physical. I am a wolf.
People are forgetting that part.
Yep.
I spent a day with NAIA the Wolf Girl, and I was taken aback by how even with millions of people watching, she was able to release those suppressed emotions that she was feeling through a howl. Something that most of us would never even consider, for no other reason than fear of losing social acceptance, which really makes me wonder, whose eyes are we seeing ourselves through? The strangers that judge us and box us into an identity? Or our own? You said that my howl was a little puppy-like.
Yeah.
Can you teach me how to do a proper howl?
Normally when I howl, like my tongue kind of touches the roof of my mouth and bends up a little bit. So it's like...
So, okay, I'll try the tongue thing.
That's a lot better.
I felt that.
If you put a lot of emotion into it, like a lot of... Hold on, I'll show you.
What was that emotion?
That was an emotion.
You're looking at your partner a lot. Is that because you're was that all the love flowing out from within you and expelling out of your brain?
No.